Welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Fly Aunt. I am your residential fly aunt, Ebony Ivory, and what goes on in the house no longer stays in the house. I have a very special episode for you guys. It is called Gworl Chat, and I have some Gworlies in the house. We are going to discuss some things of the things. We're going to start off talking about dating. Now, these girls are special because they have a particular, how do you say, je ne sais quoi about them. They all work at a brand new gentlemen's club called Biscuits.
And gravy. Give them the full name. Give them the full name.
What else do they sell?
Jam. You giving the jam.
And a little jelly.
You giving the jam. You giving the guava jelly. You over here, you giving passion fruit. I'm just kidding, guys. These are all very professional corporate baddies in the building. And we're going to discuss dating. And we're going to have a progressive and always subjective conversation in regards to dating. But first, I want to introduce you to my panel today. So we are going to start with
Hi, I'm Allison. Nice to meet you all.
Allison. Tell the people where they can find you on social media if you want to be found.
So my IG is at masterpiece__22. Feel free to follow me. And that's it. And that's it.
And period. And then we're going to go switch over to the other side of the couch. What do we have here?
I'm Sanaya. You can find me on Instagram at zam.ny, ZAAMN.NYY. Zam9.
All right. And last but not least, giving all the jelly. Yes, ma'am. Who do we have?
I'm Makita. You can find me on Instagram at Kita2022 or on Facebook at Kita Halls.
All right. So that is our Gworl, GWORL chat panel. So let's get into a little icebreaker so we can get to know each of the ladies. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to throw it back to Makita. We're going to play Eat, Vibe, and Rejuvenate. So what is your favorite thing that you enjoy to eat? You do the little greedy dance. What do you enjoy?
Okay, so I'm Jamaican. So my favorite thing is definitely oxtails, rice and peas, and cabbage.
Yes.
Definitely a little greedy dance for that.
Absolutely.
But and to vibe, I'm not even gonna lie. I really like that Sexy Red song. Get it sexy. Get it sexy.
Bow, 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 bow. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, that's my song. Okay. And then what was the other question?
To rejuvenate.
Oh, to rejuvenate. I'm definitely into like spa day type things. So I enjoy like a sauna or steam room or, anything like a little hot tub vibe. I'm into things like that. So that helps me rejuvenate.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. So we are going to kick it over to Allison.
All right. So let's start off with the eat. First and foremost.
Tell us.
I love me a good 20-piece lemon pepper hot, wet, fresh out the grease.
Okay.
Side of fries, extra seasoning, fresh out the grease. And a peach drink, cold.
Oh,
Hello.
Okay,
Light
blue
ice.
cheese or ranch?
Oh, blue cheese all day.
Yes.
Blue cheese all day.
So guys, if you want to take Allison out and you want to surprise her, okay?
Surprise me
you
with-
got a lunch order right here, ready to go.
20-piece.
All right,
Wet.
we are going to throw it over to the fly daughter, Sanaya.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your thing to eat? What you like?
Some pasta, but like some seafood pasta or some Rasta pasta. Like
Okay.
with like a lot of seafood in it. Like not skimp. And,
Not
like,
skimp on the
not
shrimp.
skimp.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Or on the crabs.
Yes.
And it has to be saucy. Like not that dry pasta.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Curdled.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Right.
Sauce.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what I like to eat.
Saucy like me. All right, and what's your vibe? What's your song of choice?
My song of choice. Okay. I don't want to be too ghetto. But
Started it off
Since
with
we
the
talking
sexy
about
red,
Sexy
so
Red,
I mean,
Female Gucci Mane. I was listening to that yesterday, and it was just doing something to me.
It sizzled in your spirit, as I like to say. Okay.
yeah.
Gucci Mane, big old diamond chain. What? I don't even have a diamond chain, but yes.
You gonna get there for sure. You gonna get there for sure.
I'm getting there.
And to rejuvenate, what do you like to do?
Hot shower.
Hot shower.
Hot
Oh,
shower.
okay.
Steaming hot. Put me in a boiler like some crabs. Steaming hot shower. Yeah. We're gonna do it every time.
Every single time?
Every single time.
All right, perfect. So we have our eat, vibe, and rejuvenate. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. And let's get into the dating of it all. So the first thing I want to know from each person, and we'll just go in order. We'll start with Makita. So we'll just go in order. What is your ideal first date? Like, what do you like to do when you go out on a first date? Ideal first date.
Okay, so for me, an ideal first date is basically the traditional style. I want him to, let me know that he's interested and want to take me out on a date. Mm-hmm. And then also, it has to be a restaurant. I like to eat. We have to go somewhere where we can sit down and actually communicate and look at each other and hear each other.
Okay.
I mean, and whether it's 5-star or 3-star, or even if it's a wing spot, lunch
Okay,
date.
so you
I
open
just
for
need
that.
I
Okay.
need a date, like an actual sit down,
date.
traditional, go out to eat date, so we can talk.
So let me ask this a follow-up question. Do you like for your man, well, not man, excuse me, but do you like for the potential, the dater to make sure that he plans the date or you plan the date? Or how do you feel about that?
I prefer the potential dater to plan the date so I can see what he would, think would be a good date for us. So if he decides to pick something that's within his budget, you know what I mean? Whether it's Ruth Chris, if he picked that, that's his choice.
Yeah.
Right.
If we decide that we're going to go to IHOP,
Right.
if we decided that we're going to go to somewhere that's, maybe, what is it, Cheesecake Factory?
Yes.
If he decided on that, that's where we're going.
I love it. Okay.
So I don't mind him picking the restaurant, because then I'm not pulling out my wallet. So
and that's
you should
that.
be able to afford it.
And that's that.
agree.
What about you?
I agree with Makita. I feel like my first ideal date, definitely the potential dater should. I want you to ask me like what I like as far as food choices, but I definitely want you to plan it. I want you to take initiative. It shows me like if we're gonna be in a relationship or if we're pursuing, I want you to be able to lead. So you picking it, you planning it, it shows me, okay, what you're capable of. Are you a good planner? What type of effort do you put into dating, or at least dating me at least? And I'm not super picky on like the place. I'd rather you just pick, and it's like, I'm one of those people, I'm going to look up the menu before I go. I'll see what it is that I like, and I'll just go from there. I'm not going to give you a hard time while you're trying to court me.
Exactly.
Love that.
Allison.
So I'm a little bit of an outdoorsy girl. As you know, I love being outside. So my ideal date is kind of a picnic type setting. Something casual. There's not a lot of pressure. People are more relaxed and they're more likely to open up and be their genuine selves. And, just have something fun planned us to do, like a little card game where we could get to know each other, sip a little champagne, have my 20-piece lemon hot pepper wet on the side.
Yes,
And
I love that.
with that, I like that you would take initiative to find like a nice spot, like relaxing spot. And of course, it's a public place. So if I need to make my escape, I can.
I agree.
Exactly. But, something in a relaxed setting where it's easy to kind of like talk and get to the nitty gritty of things.
Okay, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. So for me personally, first date, I like to eat, and I want you to plan it from the rooter to the tutor.
Yes.
As the old Southern grandmothers would say, I want you to take the initiative. Listen, I'm so old school. I might not even mind if you order my meal for me. I like a man that takes all the initiative. And him ordering for me would mean, of course, he's tried to ask me some background questions, gotten to know me, did some, got in for the details. So I like to go out for dinner. Another thing would be cute for me is maybe an ice cream date. We sit down, eat ice cream, and have some cute little conversation because I don't have any free time. It's all expensive. Okay, so we got our first, what we would prefer on our first date. What would we like to do? So let's get into something. What are some things that men do during the courting phase that you find sexy? Like, let's share with the men what they can do to turn up the sexy. And they may not even be aware or cognizant that these things we find attractive. So I'm going to go ahead, go with you, Makita. Kick it off for us.
Okay, so during the courting phase, something that's really sexy to me and also thoughtful is if you just remembered something that I said, or you remembered something about me that I liked and, just wanted to, be thoughtful and gift it to me maybe on our first date or at some point when we're courting, or just remembering something that I said. That's sexy to me. That's right. Immediate points right there.
You're getting points, cool points for that immediately. Okay. What about you?
I think for me, like, the biggest thing is just, like, how you carry yourself. So, like, if you smell good, if you open the doors for me, if you offer to drive, like, just kind of, like, letting me sit back and relax. Like, but I just love a man that smells good. I love it. Yeah.
For me, something that men do that I'm like attracted to, of course, scent is one of them. But, we're not always in close proximity to smell someone. But what I love is a man that also pays attention to detail. I like when men are attentive. So say, I'm feeling under the weather and we're communicating and you're like, I could, Instacart you some meds or that kind of thing. That shows me, one, you have some kind of awareness and you have some kind of care and concern for my well-being. Right. So attention to detail, locking into kind of what I'm going through, that really is a huge step forward if we're going to progress in any kind of courting. What about you?
I completely agree with you too. That paid attention to detail is the number one thing for me because I like people who are anticipatory in their actions when it comes to me. And when it comes to listening to my likes and interests to, provide a good experience for me, but also paying attention to small cues for things that might make me uncomfortable and then taking steps to protect me in the future so that doesn't happen again. And so making sure to pay attention to those small details with me really gains points.
I love that. I love how you said being anticipatory and also being cued into things that may make me feel uncomfortable. So let's take a little, I want to ask this. So what is your favorite part on a man? You're going through, I don't know if you're going through the apps or if you see a guy, what features on a man are getting your attention? You're oh, hold on. Like that. Go ahead, Makita.
All right, so can I say two?
Absolutely.
Okay, so two. All right, so for me would definitely be teeth. If he's smiling in any of his pictures and he has really nice teeth that look like maybe he has some braces or just even if it was dental work done, I don't mind. Right. At least that lets me know you go to the dentist. Yes. So, some good dental work and then broad shoulders. I just love some good broad shoulders. Yeah, I don't like the guys that got the little slumped over. You don't look like you pick anything up. Do you pick anything up? Can you pick me up?
You need to be able to pick her up.
Can you pick me up?
Can you pick her up? Can you pick me up? We want to be picked up
broad
over here.
Shoulders. That's what I like.
I like it. Broad shoulders. Okay. What you got going on, Missy?
Okay, so I tell people this all the time, especially at work. I'm a firm believer in the two indicators of how someone takes care of themselves is their teeth and their feet. That's how
okay, the
know.
feet.
That's how you know if a man especially a man, like if they take care of themselves. Going to the dentist is important.
It's important.
And it may not be perfect, but still, your teeth. If you're not smiling in any of your pictures, that's a red flag. It's immediately I want to see a picture of your teeth. I want to FaceTime. Let me see how your mouth looks.
Yeah.
And then your feet. And it's not more so just about like your shoe game necessarily, but just like how does your feet look? Like
His toes too.
Yeah,
Like toe. Make sure there's no black toe on there, right?
I don't mind a black toe. My daddy got a black toe. So
Yellow, what about a yellow toe? all right. Let
I
me.
ain't judging that. But like, do you take care of your feet? Do you cut
Right.
your toenails? Do you get your toes done?
Right.
Like, I feel like men think it's very taboo to get their feet done or get like like their nails done.
I love when I see a guy in there
With-
getting
yes,
a little man
yes.
pedicure. I
Like
love
some
that.
clear polish. You don't even have to get clear polish on your toes,
Right.
but just like the effort in your feet because your feet are very important. You walk around and you do a lot of things with your feet. Okay, well, what are your features on a man that you like?
You know what? As funny as this may seem, I do not have a type. I just like what I like. But since we're having a conversation, what I like on a man, you know the little V?
Oh, right here.
Yeah, like when they have like a nice
Okay.
little V.
The
And
Darnell Jones is what I call it.
oh, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I like a man with a nice little butt.
Really?
I'm an ass girl. I am. Yes, I like a. Maybe you gotta. He can't have no BBL.
Not no BBL,
Not no
though.
BBL, but he gotta have a little.
So that means he must be in the gym though. He's
Yeah,
gotta be
yeah.
like
He gotta
Probably.
working out.
I mean, maybe,
gotta
or
be
maybe he
muscular.
gets it naturally. But I like a man with a little,
I
little
don't want
squish,
no man
squish.
who butt bigger than mine.
It ain't gotta be all that. See, you
But
just
you
tight,
make
like a
you just
tight.
make it a nice little firm little. Pow, like you could smack it.
Oh Lord.
You know, give a little football player smack like the football players do. I like that. And I absolutely love a man that smiles. Like,
Yes.
I love black men joy. I love all of the joys from all of the races. So I love a smile. I love a nice NFL butt that's pattable. And I like the little V cut. So that's what I
Okay.
like.
Love to see it. Well, I love me a little smile too. Cause them pearly whites on the chocolate skin can't be beat.
Okay.
Ooh, can't be
Untouchable.
beat. But they also say that beards are makeup for men. I love me
Yes.
a luscious, well manicured, beautiful beard. Cause I mean, those are life changing.
Filled in.
Filled in.
Filled in. Okay.
Filled in.
Not gappy.
Does it have to be dyed all the way, or you like a little gray in there? Or
I like the salt and pepper
the
too.
salt and
I
pepper
just
look.
like it to look very well manicured,
Yes.
beautiful, and just filled in, like you said.
What's crazy is I like beards too, and the reason why I like beards, besides just like the look, like when it grows, like out, I like to pull the ingrown.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's
so
intimate.
funny.
Yes,
It's
it's
intimate.
very
Yes.
Pulling a man's ingrown
Yes,
hairs
it's
is
very intimate.
quite relaxing
Yes.
as well.
Cause it's like I feel like I'm doing like like an act of service, like I'm doing something for you. It can
And
be very
physical touch
intimate.
all at
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good segue. What is your love language? Go ahead, you go.
Well, acts of service was one of mine.
Yes.
So I love when people are anticipatory and do things for me without me thinking of it and me being able to reciprocate that. But I also like quality time because, me pulling your ingrowns is us spending time together, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
Your love language.
Honestly, I love all of them. I like all of them at once.
Not all at once.
Yes, like bring me flowers. I love flowers, and I like to spend time together and cuddle, and we can watch our favorite shows.
Are
and
you a clinger?
I can be if I really like someone, but then when I don't like you, I'm not clingy at all.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I can be.
Okay. For me, it's acts of service and gifts. I like people, if you see a need, fill it. You don't have to ask me.
You're a gift giver.
Yeah, I am. Oh,
Yes.
thank you for recognizing that. I like that.
Yeah, you're a gift giver.
So, hey, I'm a gift giver. I like it. And 90% of the time, I'm submissive.
Oh, okay.
What you like, Peter? What's your love language?
So how I show love is, definitely through gift giving, also quality time. So that's how I show love.
Right.
But when I want love shown to me, it's acts of service. Do something for me, especially if it's a man that's pursuing me. I mean, if we're at that stage and I
Yeah,
have
of
something in my
course.
home that needs to be fixed or something,
Yes.
him wanting to actually do that for me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That,
nice.
that's definitely gonna gain you a lot of points. So acts of service.
Listen, a big point owner for me is a man that knows how to work with his hands.
Yes.
And baby, Auntie loves rough hands. I love me a blue collar worker, honey. When he touched that skin and it's a little rough. Okay. Nevertheless,
It's too much.
I want my hands to be the soft hands.
yeah,
like soft hands.
yes. I love a man with rough hands, but I get what you're saying totally. That is another sexy point though. When the man can come in, build a bookshelf, unclog that toilet. He don't have to call somebody to do everything. Unless maybe he's out of town, he's not able to put hands on it himself. But that is the ultra sexy thing. A man knowing how to use a drill, change that tire. If I'm on a babe, because I'm good at damsel as distress. I need your help with this. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming to take care of it. I love it, honey. I
Y'all
live for
remember
it.
Overton from Living Single?
Yes.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I
With the tool
love
belt.
Overton. With that tool belt, he knew how to fix everything. That's the type of guy I like. A Mr. Fix It.
Absolutely.
I'm not
I
even-
totally agree. Okay, so we talked about what we like, our love languages. Let's switch gears a little bit. And I want this to be something that people remember is subjective, because we're going to get into our red flags specifically. And this is for our boundaries and for what we desire to have. And let us know what you guys' red flags are and what your boundaries are in the comment description. So what are in the courting phase, right? Put it like this. What is a red flag that'll just make one of the things that'll just make you come back away from the person or start to be like, this ain't for me. I'ma let you go first.
You want me to go
Mika.
first?
Yes, because I think you got something right on the tip of your
Ready.
I
tongue.
don't know why this happens to me a lot, but it's the only talking to me when you're in your vehicle. What is that about? Like, only when you're in your car.
Yeah, it's very
What-
sneaky.
You're never at home. We can never talk when you're at home.
Cause somebody there.
Exactly.
Somebody
What
there.
is going on? And I don't mind if you have roommates or if you're just going to be honest. Hey, I live with my parents. Now, I will back away if you need to get yourself together.
Right.
But be honest. Like, what is it? What is this? We can never talk unless you're in your car. I don't understand that. That's a red flag to me.
Okay, got you. Allison, what's a red flag for you?
So it's a big red flag for me when people are too over controlling right out the gate. Like, I like a man who takes initiative but lead by example, do not lead by force. Don't tell me you need to be in by 7 p.m. on Friday because I said so. Or you should be not hanging out with this person because I don't like her and I said so. Like,
So in the courting phase, that's happening?
that has happened to me numerous
Wow.
times, and it's very difficult for someone who has been single for a while or independent for a while. And I guess the hardest part of dating and getting into new relationships is being able to share your life with someone when you've already had your, set routine, and being comfortable enough with someone to open that up to them.
Yeah.
But I need to be able to open that up to you freely and by choice instead of you forcing that upon me according to your schedule and what your ways are.
Great perspective. Great point. What about you?
Definitely in the courting phase is just lack of consistency. I really don't like lack of consistency, and I don't like a man who is not attentive, because if you're being inconsistent, that you're not paying attention to the things that I'm saying, and everything is going through one ear and out the other, and it's like me not hearing from you often. Like, I need to know, like, okay, you're interested in me, and it's like if I hear from you every so often, it doesn't make me feel like you're really trying to pursue me.
Okay, so let me ask you a follow-up question. So when you say the lack of consistency, like, say you're courting somebody maybe 3 to 4 weeks in, what is your expectation for them to reach out to you, I guess, as far as communication is concerned?
If we're already 3 to 4 weeks in, then I'm already assuming, like, you know, we're talking at least in the mornings or maybe before you go to work or before I go to work, or, you know, we're keeping each other updated. We may be, like, sending a few texts here and there, but, like, by 3 to 4 weeks, we have a routine. Like, if we don't have any type of routine, and it's like routine is subjective for that dynamic that you have with that person.
Right.
But it's some type of routine. Like, we're having conversations and we're talking on a consistent basis.
Okay.
Whether it's FaceTime, phone calls, just a text here and there, depending on, you know, what their job is and what their job is like.
Right.
But yeah, no, we're talking consistently. Like a week or two in, you know, maybe we're shooting a text here and there. But by 3 to 4 weeks, if you're courting me, you're trying to pursue me, I would assume that you would be into what I'm doing and I'm into what you're doing.
I got a question. So for the consistency too, how often within that 3 to 4 weeks are there dates?
Yeah, there's dates. Like depending on what the schedule is like,
Okay.
because they may work like 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then I work night shift, and so I have to work at least 3 days out the week, and my schedule is sporadic. So I may work just my weekend, or I may just work, you know, those 3 days like during the week.
Do you expect to have at least like 1 or 2 dates in by then within 3 to 4 weeks?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a great
not
question.
more.
That's that is a good question. I'm gonna follow up on that one too. For me, my personal my red flags are I don't have anything. You can do anything with me.
Anything.
I'm sorry, what?
Tie you up. Wait, what?
Throw
you in the back of the car.
There's no
I'm
red
just
flag?
kidding. Y'all should
All
see
right.
y'all face.
Her
I'm like,
type
y'all were
is
like,
Jeffrey Dahmer.
y'all
That's what
Like,
I'm gonna dance for my life. So for me, my red flags, one red flag in particular, and this is because I deal with an older particular age, okay? A red flag for me is when we get on the phone, if you're like constantly complaining, like you are, I hate this, I hate that. You know, that is a major red flag for me. That lets me know that you have, to me now, it says to me that you have a problem managing your stress. And I'm a lady of a particular age, and I have no fine lines or wrinkles, and I want to keep it that way.
protect your peace.
Yes, I do not want to be stressed out, so that is definitely a red flag for me. Another red flag for me is basically how you view people in the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
That's a major red flag for me. When we have discussions about that, how do you feel about, you know, religious views and, you know, that type of stuff? Those things are major red flags for me. And in addition to that, you know, most of the time those can be deal breakers. I've come to understand, being a person of a particular age, that there are core baseline things for me that I'm not moving around and I'm not going to budge on, because I've had my experience of trying to mesh different worlds together and that didn't work well for me. So now that's something that moving forward, like if I see those little things, I ain't with it.
So like if the person says, hey, I'm atheist, or hey, I'm agnostic or something like that, or
I've had that before, and I've pleasantly declined because we're not aligned in that fact.
Yeah.
Because when times are good, I'm praying, and when times are rough, I'm praying.
Exactly.
So I want to be able to share that with whoever, you know, I am, you know, whatever levels we're at. That's something down the line. I got to be comfortable knowing that, okay, you're going to have my back. You're going to be a prayer warrior for me when it gets rough, you know, when it comes to that.
And to piggyback off of that too, I had a dynamic with someone who was not, didn't have a relationship with God. And I remember specifically my mom said, to quote, "You guys were never going to work because you guys are not equally yoked." And that plays a significant part. And ever since then, like, I can't pursue someone or be with someone who does not believe in God. And it's not like you have to be Christian or Muslim or anything like that. But if you don't believe in a higher power, it's just like, You got to believe in something.
Right,
Like
right.
it's something
I
in
agree.
this world that makes this world tick, and you have to
agree.
believe in something.
Yeah, completely agree.
Wholeheartedly.
And not only that, it's not to say that like this is what we desire. These are our desires. We're not saying people are bad that don't fall in line with what we
Exactly,
desire. These are just what we want.
Yeah.
And it's okay for everybody to want what they want.
Yeah.
But we're gonna stay true to that. So let's get into deal breakers. Like you have a deal breaker? What is a deal breaker for you, Allison? I know you got one.
Circle back to me because
You don't want to say it?
listen, there are deal breakers in certain situations. So
It's fine. Just give a situation
right.
when it's fine.
So one deal breaker for me is, and you know what? This isn't even a certain situation. Someone who is violently inclined. I don't do any kind of violence, gives off like temper issues, gives off any kind of can't control their emotions
Can't control
when it
themselves.
comes to situations that aren't in their favor, because that spills over into our dynamic.
Right.
If we have a family, it spills off into the family dynamic. So as soon as I get a little hint of anger management issues there, it's cut off. So I guess that is one big one that's not even a maybe if, it's a no.
What about you, Makia?
It's very shallow.
I love it.
Okay.
Tell me.
We love
Spill
it.
it.
We love it.
I mean, I'm a certain height and size,
Yeah.
and I just cannot be with someone that is shorter than me.
You shouldn't.
It's shallow. I know a lot of short kings out there. Like, a lot of them have approached me, and we're probably really good men. I'm not taking away from that or anything, but it's just not for me. I just cannot be with someone that's shorter than me.
I don't think it's shallow.
That's not shallow? Okay. Because
I'm gonna-
I feel like people have
if
always
he
said,
Yeah.
you're going to miss out on your blessing. And it's just
I
like,
think
Only
Well,
shorter
it's
than you
preference.
if he is not standing on his pile of money. Let's think about that.
pile of money or not. I'm
Pile
not
of money or
interested.
not?
I'm gonna ask this
I'm sorry, I'm
question
not
because
interested.
this is a question my uncle would ask me. He would be so proud. What if he checked all your boxes?
Every single one. But the only
Every
thing,
single.
You
Yep.
see Sierra and Russell.
Russell tall.
He's tall enough. Who
He's
knows?
tall enough.
Exactly, but I just can't.
If he checked all
Every
your
single
boxes,
one.
He's just short.
yes.
It's just.
He
I think
did
I could get
everything
past
That's what I told you. It's
right.
I think I
shallow.
can get past it.
I can't.
You can't get past it. Okay.
No,
All
he has
right.
to be
I
taller
pick
than
him up
me,
and carry him on my
bigger
hip
than
like he was
me.
my
I
little
just
baby.
can't do it. I just can't do
on
it.
your
hip.
It's shallow. I know
Hip.
I've gotten a lot of flack for that in the past, but if
Okay,
you're
you
shorter
standing
than
on
me,
business.
it's a deal breaker.
It's not
Sorry.
wrong with that. You standing on business. What about yourself?
If they're not financially stable.
Oh,
When men are broke, they are mean.
you spoke a word right there.
When men don't have money, they are mean.
That's when they start
And
that
miserable.
complaining
Yes.
on the phone.
Yes.
And you were talking
And
about
And everything is your fault.
everything.
No, you're right. You're right.
And then too, like with my profession being a nurse, I already know going into a situation 9 times out of 10, I probably might
make more.
make more money. So I'm not saying that you have to be rich or you have to make as much money as me or make
Right.
more money than me. But just if your finances are not in order, you're always going to be frustrated. And then when you're looking at me and you're like, oh, well, she's going to work and she's doing this, or she just bought this and she's doing that. Like, you're probably going to start looking at me as like, oh, she thinks she's better than me.
Right.
And it's like, I don't
Resentment.
ever,
Some kind of
resentment
starts to come in.
and
maybe,
I don't
yeah.
ever want to be in a situation where it's like someone is resenting me just for my career choice.
Exactly.
And for your success.
And
That's
for
not
my
fair.
success. Like, I want you to be
Exactly.
happy for me. So you need to already have your ducks in a row. Don't come over here being mean to me because
Right.
I make more money than you. That's not my fault. I am sorry.
I feel you on that. I concur with all the deal breakers except for the shorty doo-wop. I'm so sorry, boo. I'm so sorry. I'll take me a little shorty doo-wop.
I don't think it's shallow. I'm already
It's
small.
shallow,
So
but-
you got to be taller than me. And it's been men that have made it seem like, oh yeah, I'm this height, and then when we finally do hang out, we're the same height.
Exactly.
You are not 5'7", baby. You're 5'2" like me.
Deal breaker.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not they be lying that bad.
They be lying that bad.
Yes, they be
I'm
lying.
5'7". The guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm 5'7". We the same height, And I'm like, "No, I don't think that's the same. I think if you're like 5'9" and I'm 5'7", then we're the same height." He showed up.
That's girl math.
That's
Okay,
girl
that's girl
math. You're right. That is girl math. Yes.
Because if you're 5'7" and I'm 5'2", that means you're still short. You still
He's
little.
still short. Yes, you're right. He's still short.
Okay. So let me ask you something. What is, like, you're in the courting phase. This is one question. How long should it take before you go on your first date, right? So I'm assuming everybody has been on the dating apps, right? Everybody's been on dating apps. Okay. You're on a dating app. How many weeks should it be? First date needs to happen by what week?
I'd say at least by week 2. Because by then you should get each other's schedule straightened out. Like, okay, I work during the week. You work during the weekends.
Right.
We work during, sporadically. So at least by week 2, you should be able to straighten that out and at least have one phone call or one video chat ahead enough to be able to get that first date out the way.
I think at least by week 2, but it's like, if we're already like on FaceTime and we're texting, like that tension is kind of building up. Like you're getting anxious and you're getting excited to meet that person. So maybe a week, but like Alan said, sometimes schedules don't align. So at least by week 2. But after week 2, I'm not playing with you no more.
Okay, so I'm a little more patient. It's been like about a month at one point where I was, texting back and forth. We were phone calling each other and things like that. And then we planned something a month in. I would wait a month. Yeah.
You waited a month, Makita?
I'm scared I'm going to end up on Catfish. I need to see you tonight.
Before. I mean, I wasn't like exclusively just talking to you.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, I get that.
fair.
I get that. I get that. That's fair.
Yeah, so
Okay, so in the phase up to the date, what are some questions that men can ask that will completely turn you off? I'll start with you.
I don't like when conversations get too sexual right off the bat, because that shows me that you lack depth in your conversation and you lack versatility to be able to have an intelligent conversation with me without automatically pushing it towards sex. Of course, that is something that needs and must be discussed once we get to know each other later down the road and thinking about that.
Right.
But like early on in the phase, you have nothing else of interest of me to talk about besides that. That gives off a no for me.
Okay. What about you, Miss?
How much you make?
Oh, Lord. Oh, don't ask me that.
How much you make? Because it's one thing to say, what do you do as a profession? But it's like, we're just courting each other. Like, we're not getting married. We're not about to start splitting bills. And usually whenever a guy, or when they be like, oh yeah, big money.
oh,
That scared me. Immediately, I'm blocked.
scared.
Like, you're
Yes.
scaring me.
Yeah.
How much you make? Because, and usually when a guy asks me how much you make, I always ask, are you about to start paying some bills? Because if not, the question is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how much I make.
right.
You supposed to be spending, we're supposed to be spending your money. Not my
In the
money.
courting phase,
Yeah.
yes, I agree.
It don't got nothing to do with you.
What's a question for you, Makita?
WYD.
What you
I'm not
doing?
responding.
Oh yeah.
I'm
What
not
you doing,
responding
what
to
you doing, what you
WYD
doing,
text
what you
messages.
doing.
And it's multiple times a day when
Yeah,
you
what
send
you
me
You're
doing,
not
that.
getting a
what you
response.
doing.
The same thing
You're
I was
gonna
doing
end up
at
having to
Outward.
call me if you really want to talk. And then if you do decide to call, like you said, the sexual conversations
Yeah.
right off we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not doing
Yeah.
anything sexual
I
right
agree.
now.
I don't like the
No.
I don't like the sexual forwardness. I don't like the how much you earn.
Oh wow, yeah.
Another
Forgotten
thing
that.
that is a complete turn off is that what attracted you to me is that I take care of myself very well. I do things, I go out and I have a good time. Please don't try to come over here and try to taper me down.
Yeah, and then my life.
And telling me I'm spending, you doing, like, you kind of like, it gives a little bit of pocket watching.
Yeah.
The big money.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
the big money.
Like,
But it's just a
Okay,
different
big
form of
money.
it, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
a different form of it, like the pocket watching. Oh, I see you went here. Or like if we're exchanging, like, we're exchanging photos of, we're traveled or whatever. Oh, you went there. Oh, you went there. And, then you kind of start comparing yourself to like, oh, I've never been out. Like, you would be surprised in my age group how much men have not traveled, have not done, and I'm not even speaking out of the country. I mean, just within the United States.
Right. Vegas or something.
Yeah,
Haven't
something
been to
simple like that,
Vegas or
right?
something like
yeah,
that.
haven't done anything like that. So yeah, for me, like, I'm like,
And one more, like, pictures, more pictures. Send me pictures.
I hate that too.
Pictures. And I'm like, didn't you see enough of them on the app?
They're probably gonna send somebody in jail.
See that?
That's just where my head goes.
You're up on that. That's probably
not you
it.
worry about your pictures float around the penitentiary.
Look, you never know.
They gonna send somebody in.
You don't love after lockup trailer. No.
Yeah. Pocket. To piggyback off the like sexual stuff, I don't like that either. And I told somebody this like last week that I don't like being around people that's hypersexual because people that are hypersexual, they will take advantage of you or they will put you in a very messed up situation to appease themselves. I don't want to be around nobody who's like that. Just in general, even friendships. Like if I'm with a friend and she's like a female or a male and they're just hypersexual, I'm okay.
So this is another question in dating. First date, what are the expectations? I know a lot of people, it's been this debate about splitting the bill or who asks who. I'll go first. Baby, you paying and that's that.
That's it.
I'm not splitting any bill. You invite me out.
Yes,
you
you pay
plan
for
the
it.
date, then you should pay for it. And on another foot, if you are not in a position or you do not have the means, then you shouldn't.
We
be
shouldn't go on a
dating.
date.
Exactly.
Or you can, and that's what people fail to realize too. Even though, like we were saying, our first ideal date is to go out and be at a restaurant. You can still go on a date, and it doesn't have to be expensive.
Exactly.
Like I said, I love a picnic, baby.
Yeah, like we can still go outside. We can go for a walk.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
we can go ride the birds, the scooters. Like that's not expensive. That's like
Right.
$10-15. Like,
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I let the man pick the restaurant too, or what we're gonna do, because then that's within whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you're
Yeah.
affordable,
Right.
whatever's
Exactly.
affordable for you.
Exactly.
Because
So-
the thing about me too is like once I see that you taking me on dates and I'm like, okay, I kind of like you, I'm gonna take you on a date
Thank
too,
you.
and I will pay for it. I'm not gonna
Exactly.
make you pay.
Yes.
Like why would I
Exactly.
invite you out? If you invite me somewhere, I'm expecting you to pay. So if I'm inviting you somewhere, even though you may anticipate as the man in the whole gender roles, you would pay, but I'll pay for it. Like I don't mind.
I love that.
Right.
I love that. I think that's a great approach as well. So yeah, we're all about reciprocating and all of those things. So this is a follow-up question, right? Because I'm a lady of a particular age. Do we have any, when it comes to dating people that have children, are we for, against, has to be within a certain age range? Allison!
So I don't have children, and I do prefer to date men without children, just because I know with my dynamic and with how I want my dynamic to be with that man, I think it'll be easier to navigate the relationship with that. But if I have someone who checks all my boxes and he does have a child, then I don't mind pursuing that or getting to know that as well. I don't think I would actively pursue someone who has children, but if it happens, then I can make it work.
Right. I agree. Because when I didn't have a child, I agree with what you were saying. When I was childless, I'm not dating anyone with a child. I would like for us to start fresh. We begin our family together, things like that. But now that I do have a child, I don't mind if a man has a child, and the maximum baby mamas or ex-spouses is 2.
Now we got a baby mama maximum.
Maximum baby mamas is 2.
That's another
like it,
dynamic
though.
you have to navigate.
That's
I
it.
like it.
That
And
is
one of them
another
had to
dynamic.
be like an ex-wife or something, you know, divorce.
Sweetheart.
I mean, it has to be something like that where it showed like you were consistent and there was some longevity in your relationship. You know,
Absolutely.
it can't be like, oh, one night stand and here I am, you know, here I am as a dad now, because that doesn't show me that you actually like cared for this woman at one point. You know, I also have to see that you're, you know, there has to be some weekends where maybe you're taking care of your child.
Oh yeah.
Like I
Yes.
like to know that you have
Yes.
your child with you.
Responsibility.
Yes.
You know, that you're
yes.
responsible for your child.
You're not so wrapped up in me. Like, where the baby at?
Exactly. Where is your
Is the
child?
baby real?
You know, because I'm gonna have my child, and at some points, we're not gonna be able to hang out because I'm being a mother. This is my mommy duties. I'm taking care of my child.
Valid point.
So yeah, I would date a man with a child, but maximum 2 baby mamas and maybe like 2 or 3 kids at the most.
Well said. What about you, Miss Sanaya?
I've dated men with a child before. It's not my go-to. I've declined a lot of men. Just they could have been the greatest man, and I've declined a lot of men just because they had a child. If I do talk to a guy that has a child, I'm very intrigued to see what is your relationship like with your child's mother. Is your child's mother in a relationship? How often do you guys speak? When you guys converse, what are the conversations like? Is it strictly just about the child, or is it about other stuff? Because that plays a significant role. But and then what is your relationship like with your child as well? Like, do you go and do you see your child? Do you plan stuff? Do you guys spend time together? Like things like that. It does play a significant role. But honestly, just like how you have your BM cap or like the lover's cap.
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
That's
smart though. No, that's
stressing
smart.
it a little bit
That's
too. I was like,
smart.
oh, that's
You
giving
should.
some leeway.
And one child.
One
One child.
One child. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, one child. That's it. Because once you, even if you just have one baby mother, ex-wife, once you start having multiple kids with them, you love her.
Yeah.
I can't compete with that. You love her.
You're right.
Just go be with her, okay?
But also, just to kind of piggyback off of what you said about like the relationship with the mother, I mean, I haven't really dug into it that far with like in terms of like the relationship with the mother. I more so just care about what is your relationship with your children. But I might have to
Because
look into that.
There's
they're
a respect point.
Yeah,
if they're
what's the
going
respect level?
to like pick up the child, how long are you over there? What are those conversations like? Or just that relationship just in general, like is the relationship good? Why did things end? You know, what was the dynamic like once it ended? I'm just very, very curious.
I typically don't ask men things like that only because I feel like they're just gonna lie to me. I don't know why, but I just feel like they're not gonna be honest. I need to know what she has to say, if anything.
Yeah. And that's my question. Would you like, if y'all are like become exclusive, this child is involved, do you want to meet the baby mother?
Yes,
I do.
Yes.
At some point, yes.
I think that's a smart choice.
I do.
I think some
because
people like to be oblivious. Yeah.
Men do lie.
Yeah, they're just gonna
but
lie.
sometimes, baby daddies can be bitter. And baby mamas are not always the bitter party, but it's like I like to hear both sides because what's the saying? You have your side, their side, and the truth.
True.
So
Right.
I want to be able to see, okay, was there some discrepancies in that? Like I wouldn't be. I'm open to it.
And then you can make a good decision on what you want to do forward. Yeah.
And then to piggyback off of that, if it's supposed to be something that's long term, you want a healthy dynamic so that there's no ill will about the child can't spend time with us because she doesn't know me or hasn't gotten to know me to the point where the child can feel safe while I'm with him or vice versa. And so I do think it is important to meet and talk and get to know each other and set these expectations and boundaries so that a healthy dynamic and relationship can be established. So
you don't know what you're getting yourself into. I'm not finna be fighting your baby mama.
Right.
She win. She already got the baby. She win.
So for myself, I'm dealing with a little older of an age range, right? So for me, it has to fall in line to what I'm accustomed to dealing with. So in the next couple of years, I'm going to be an empty nester. So I am a very spontaneous. I am. I'm a spontaneous. I'm a spontaneous person. I like to do things on a whim. It could be like a week. Let's go over here. Let's do this. Let's do that. So I don't have to worry about a babysitter.
Right.
And I'm not going to attach myself that got to do the whole babysitter thing. According to the state of Georgia, you can leave your child home at a particular age. I don't know what the age is because my children is past that.
I think it's like 12.
Yeah, I think it's 12. But
Between
I'm
12
not making
and 14.
I'm not making no recommendations. But what I'm saying is it has to fall in line with my lifestyle. My children are in high school on their way out. So we need to be able, whoever I get involved with, I would hope that their children are at that age or older.
Right.
A red flag to me is you being 50 with a 2-year-old.
Lord.
Suspicious.
Yes.
I'm
Very
like,
suspicious.
I'm like, that's a lot. That like you making kids that old. I mean, in the Caribbean culture, that's not uncommon. But
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to that. I feel like when you date someone from my age, okay, I'm in my upper 40s. That is one. That child needs both parents. That child. I mean, you and the baby mama need to go on here and work it out. The baby needs y'all.
Right.
Like you don't usually like that's too.
Yeah, at 2 years old.
Too
That's-
much.
Entanglement.
Yes,
Not only
yes,
that,
yes.
I
fresh.
feel
They're
like
still
having
fresh.
a child at that age is selfish. As far for the child, imagine like, cause growing up, like when we're in school, we talk about how old our parents are and things like that. Like imagine you are in your 20s or you're 18 and your parents are coming to see you graduate and they're 70. Or it's like now your parents are missing your monumental moments when you're getting into your 30s or your 40s because, they could be sick or, things like that. It's like you want to actually be around for your child. And I feel
I can understand your reasoning, but just to kind of give another perspective, sometimes people are holding on to these traditional values
of waiting.
You know what I mean? And they are waiting to the point that the eggs are almost scrambled and dried up.
Scrambled.
So, I mean, it happens. Like some people, are very much hold on to the thing. They want to be married and be financially stable. And that is quite okay. But yes, the older you are, the statistics show, how did they say about the eggs,
Yes, ladies. I was just having this conversation with someone last night. I was educating them about it as well last night. When you hit the age of 35 and older, that is considered a geriatric pregnancy.
Right. And your production is on the decline.
It's on the decline. Not only is it on the decline, your child is at a higher risk for Down syndrome, being very sick, hereditary diseases, and things like that. 35 and up, that is considered a geriatric pregnancy, and you are high risk as well for the mother of having preeclampsia, eclampsia, gestational diabetes, all of that.
Nurse Naya in the building has shown her face.
I'm off the clock, but I'm still getting paid.
Now, in reference to that, because I am, in that age range, and I would love to have another child. Are you saying that at that age, maybe women shouldn't try to have a child? Or are you saying that these are just some risks that you may face?
Yeah, and it's very subjective as well. Like I suggest going to your gynecologist and speaking with them because it's subjective. You could be 35 and you could have a clean bill of health, or you could be 35 and you could be very sickly. You could have fibroids, or you could already have hypertension or a lot of comorbidities. It's subjective, but it's still a higher risk. Right. Basically.
Now, in terms of for the men though, so I know you were saying, a 50-year-old man with a 2-year-old, I mean, what are risks for the men? Are there any risks that they face in the older age trying to?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So they don't have any risks.
Well, I think too, I mean, don't quote me, but I think the quality of sperm too.
Okay, goes down for the men, right?
Yeah.
The quality of the sperm,
But they're still doing it.
yeah, they're still out here having kids. Like, there's like people like 70s still having, and you know, they're stroke, but they're having it with younger women.
Yes,
so that's
what they're
increases.
doing.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
it's not
like-
like two 70-year-olds getting together. Got a 70-year-old man and he with a 44-year-old woman and having a baby and he lucking out. I mean, for me personally, that's a lot, but I don't want to deal with that. You and baby mom, y'all may try. Go figure that out. Go figure that out. You don't need me in the mix for that. Go figure that out with no 2-year-old. Because I don't need nobody. Ebony, like, huh? Pick me up. Do I got games on my phone and babysit? Then not you try to have me babysit your baby and you and the baby mama out having a good time. I seen the TikToks, girls. Don't let them fool you, girls. Don't let them fool you. Well, I just want to go ahead and thank all of you ladies for joining me. It was an absolute pleasure. I want us to just go ahead and go in order. We'll just start down with Makita. Tell people where they can find you. And if you are on a dating app...
Okay, so
yes.
Honestly, I deleted all my dating app profiles. I'm not even gonna lie, I did, because I'm challenging myself to go out more on my own, go sit at a bar or sit somewhere and actually communicate and maybe organically strike up a conversation with someone. So I did remove myself from the dating apps because I'm trying to try something new.
Absolutely.
Find something organic, But you can find me on IG at Kita2022 or on Facebook at Kita Halls. And Halls is Hals.
Go ahead, miss.
I am not on a dating app.
That's right.
I have been before, but I'm not on a dating app. No.
Okay.
My Instagram again is Zamni, ZAAMN.NYY. AAY, Zamni.
All right. Well, Allison.
So I'm with everybody else. I deleted all my dating apps too because we saw how well that was going. And just like you, I've been challenging myself to, strike up conversations more organically to try to get to know people. But you can find me on Instagram at masterpiece 2___22.
All right, and it is me, Ebony Ivory. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and all podcasting platforms. You can catch me, The Fly Aunt. I want to thank you guys for joining us on this episode. It was a key. Listen, I love that you guys came and showed up, shared your experiences, and I can't wait till we do it again. Till the next episode. Bye.
Bye.